CBS 4 News is always on CBS4.com.
State of the Union. President Bush urges Congress to give his new Iraq policy a chance to work. The man in line to take command in Iraq calls the situation there dire. And snubbed by Oscar. The most nominated picture of the year is left out of the Best Picture category. This is the CBS Morning News for Wednesday, January 24th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Susan McGinnis. A resolute President Bush delivered his State of the Union address asking Congress to give his new strategy in Iraq time to work. Democrats say it's time for a new direction. Susan Roberts is live in Washington with more. Good morning, Susan.
Susan, good morning to you. Once again, the president is asking the nation for patience to give him one more chance to win this war in Iraq. Still, the Democrats are signaling they are in no mood to meet the president halfway. Facing a Congress now controlled by Democrats and a war-weary nation, President Bush made this appeal.
Our country is pursuing a new strategy in Iraq, and I ask you to give it a chance to work.
The president warned that pulling out of Iraq now would threaten America's security. He said the more than 20,000 U.S. reinforcements on the way are needed to help stabilize Baghdad.
I chose this course of action because it provides the best chance for success.
Turning to matters at home, the president talked about expanding health care coverage to millions of uninsured Americans and slashing dependence on foreign oil.
Let us build on the work we've done and reduce gasoline usage in the United States by 20% in the next 10 years.
Mr. Bush opened by congratulating the first woman House Speaker and made a friendly reach across the aisle.
Like many before us, we can work through our differences, and we can achieve big things for the American people.
Democrats were not wowed by his domestic agenda and are mounting strong opposition to his Iraq plan.
The majority of the nation no longer supports this war, the way this war is being fought, nor does the majority of our military, nor does the majority of Congress. We need a new direction.
The freshman senator from Virginia called for a shift to regional diplomacy that will allow U.S. combat forces to come home. President Bush heads to Wilmington, Delaware today to promote his energy plan while the Senate Foreign Relations Committee takes up a non-binding partisan resolution opposing the troop increase. Susan?
Susan, the reception the president got last night, how was that perceived at the Capitol?
He didn't exactly get a thunderous round of applause from Democrats or Republicans. He did promote a lot of applause when he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. So far, his troop increase is still not being received well with Democrats. They're saying they're going to hold him accountable starting today by voting on this bipartisan, non-binding resolution in the Foreign Relations Committee. Susan.
All right, Susan Roberts in Washington, thank you. 5 U.S. civilians were killed when their helicopter crashed during a gun battle in Iraq. The fighting continued in central Baghdad this morning when U.S. and Iraqi forces raided suspected insurgent hideouts. It's not known what caused Tuesday's crash. An Iraqi official says the men were shot on the ground. The general chosen to be the new U.S. commander in Iraq faced his own battle on Capitol Hill, appearing before a skeptical Senate committee. General David Petraeus called the situation in Iraq dire, but not hopeless. David Martin reports.
Army General David Petraeus, the man chosen to command what may well be the last chance to salvage victory in Iraq, had this stark warning of what to expect from the troop surge ordered by President Bush.
The way ahead will be neither quick nor easy, and there undoubtedly will be tough days.
Famous for challenging 20-year-old soldiers to push-up contests and winning, Petraeus has a near-perfect resume for the job. He commanded the 101st Airborne in the initial invasion and was in charge of training Iraqi security forces. Petraeus even wrote the military's manual on counterinsurgency warfare, which calculates he would need 120,000 troops just for Baghdad. Counting all U.S. and Iraqi forces supposed to be part of the surge, he will have only 85,000.
Your numbers are either inadequate or bare minimum. Does that concern you?
It does, sir.
You wrote the book, General, but the policy is not by the book.
His mission, in effect, is to liberate Iraq a second time. The first was from Saddam Hussein, the second from the sectarian violence which has engulfed Baghdad. Many Democrats and Republicans on the Armed Services Committee oppose sending in more American troops to accomplish that mission.
Those people going to fight this war are going to say, well, I'm going, but the Congress says good luck, but you're going to lose.
Democrat Lieberman asked senators not to introduce anti-surge resolutions that might give aid and comfort to the enemy.
So what effect would it have on our enemies in Iraq?
This is a test of wills at the end of the day. A commander in such an endeavor would obviously like the enemy to feel that there's no hope.
Petraeus seems certain to be confirmed as the next commander in Iraq, but his chances of success there are anything but certain. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
The U.S. has reportedly launched another airstrike against al-Qaeda targets in Somalia. This would be the second U.S. attack this month on suspected terrorist bases in southern Somalia. The Washington Post says it's unclear whether any of the intended targets were hit. New passport rules have kicked in. This move comes in an effort to tighten U.S. borders. It affects Americans returning to the U.S. by air, no matter where they're flying from. Allison Harmelin reports.
Be sure to pack your passport. Post 9/11 regulations have kicked in, making getting into the United States a little bit tougher. In the past, a driver's license or birth certificate could get you into the U.S. from most neighboring countries. But customs officials were faced with sorting through thousands of different kinds of documents, some of which were easily forged.
Last year, there were about 75,000 fraudulent documents that were seized, and about 84,000 people were apprehended trying to pass themselves off as Americans.
Forgeries are the reason Homeland Security says uniform passports make the customs process easier and more secure. An estimated 2/3 of Americans don't currently hold a valid passport. So if you're planning an upcoming trip to Mexico, Canada, or Bermuda, now you're going to need one of these. Canadian officials are concerned the regulations will clog up the border, but most travelers are taking the changes in stride.
I've always been flying with a passport, so I know what the big deal is.
Immigration offices are filled with people seeking passports, and with spring break just around the corner, some students are scrambling.
But if they do it now, they'll be able to get their passport before spring break.
The new requirement only impacts those traveling by air, but as early as next January, anyone crossing the border by land or by sea will also be sent packing unless they're carrying a passport. Allison Harmelin, CBS News, Newark, New Jersey.
A missing Indiana family has been found safe and sound. They were discovered Tuesday night in a motel not far from their home. Police said Kimberly Walker and her 4 children were abducted by her ex-boyfriend on Saturday. He has since been arrested. E. Howard Hunt, a key figure in the Watergate scandal, has died. Hunt was a CIA officer who recruited some of the burglars that broke into Democratic Party headquarters in 1972. He did serve time in prison. Hunt was 88 years old. Just ahead on the morning news, global warming. It's already being felt in coastal communities like New Orleans. Scientists warn it's only going to get worse. First, Katie Couric has a preview of tonight's CBS Evening News.
Hi there. Can you really bargain with your doctor and actually save a bundle? We'll show you how in the conclusion of our series, Prescription for Saving. So that story and much, much more tonight on the CBS Evening News. We hope you'll join us.
This portion of the CBS Morning News sponsored by Curves, where you get a total body workout with our total support.
Got 30 minutes to burn? 30 to burn calories, 30 to burn fat. Do both with the strength and cardio workout at Curves. Join Curves now and get 30% off and your first 30 days free.
Ah, softer. Try new Charmin Ultra. It's softer, so you'll want more, but you can use less. You can use less because it's more absorbent than the regular quilted brand. Now softer than before, less is even more.
In the human body, the heart pumps blood through thousands of miles of arteries every minute.
Inventor of the Jarvik artificial heart, Dr. Robert Jarvik.
But high cholesterol can clog arteries and lead to heart disease or a stroke. Adding Lipitor is proven to lower bad cholesterol an impressive 39 to 60% when diet and exercise are not enough. And today, clinical evidence proves that Lipitor can reduce both your risk of heart attack and your risk of stroke if you have several common risk factors for heart disease. All important reasons to ask your doctor about Lipitor. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you're taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. Could you be doing more with Lipitor? Ask your doctor.
Kill the cough. Halls with vapor action. Starts working in 10 seconds.
Halls introduces new bursts. The perfect way to soothe a scratchy throat. New sugar-free bursts.
In his State of the Union address, President Bush called on the country to cut gas consumption and use alternative fuels. He made no mention of global warming, but that's already a concern in some coastal areas of the U.S. Byron Pitts reports.
New Orleans, Louisiana, where the Army Corps of Engineers is rebuilding a stronger levee system after the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. But scientists now see something more dangerous than seasonal hurricanes: global warming.
The sea level is rising worldwide, and that's going to have an immediate impact on New Orleans. And
Tulane University geoscientist Torbjorn Tornquist.
Global warming. It's all related to global warming. That's what's happening. We've seen that in the past century, sea level has been rising 4 times faster than in the preceding 1,000 years.
Why is this happening?
What you're looking at here is just a visualization of the sea ice cover.
Waleed Abdullati is a NASA career scientist and one of the Bush administration's top researchers on climate change.
The state of the world's ice is that it's changing, and predominantly in most parts of the world it's shrinking.
One vivid example, these NASA satellite pictures of the North Pole ice cap in summer. Since 1979, it has shrunk more than 25%.
We could see an ice-free Arctic in the summer. That could happen in the next 40 to 60 years.
Places at risk for a sea level rise range from the San Francisco Bay Area to South Florida to the Chesapeake Bay. Abdullati studied a glacier in Greenland that lost nearly 5 miles in the last 6 years, and now it's flowing faster.
It doubled its speed, just enhancing the amount of ice that was flowing or flushing out into the fjord and later to the sea.
That melted ice in the North Atlantic means higher levels along the Gulf Coast.
And we have to push harder than anybody else in the United States to reverse the problem of global warming, because we're facing that problem here first.
A scientific problem that now may be getting a political solution. Byron Pitts, CBS News, New Orleans.
Well, Wall Street will react to President Bush's speech last night today. Alexis Christoforous has the details in your CBS Money Watch.
Oil is in the spotlight today on word the government will double the size of the nation's strategic petroleum reserve over the next 2 decades. The reserves are held to make up for disruptions in global oil supplies. The news sent crude oil surging 5%, back above $55 a barrel. Keep your eye on ethanol producers today. In Tuesday night's State of the Union speech, President Bush proposed a massive switch to renewable fuels such as ethanol and biodiesel. And Yahoo is a stock you'll want to watch. The internet search engine suffered a 61% drop in profits last quarter. It blames that drop on delays in its newest internet advertising software and costs from employee stock options. On Wall Street, bargain hunters went to work following Monday's sell-off. The Dow climbed 56 points, but the Nasdaq was nearly flat. And the earnings parade marches on today with reports due out from eBay, Netflix, and ConocoPhillips. MySpace is teaming up with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The popular social networking site says it will now send out Amber Alerts to notify members about children missing in their communities. The online alerts will include photos of the missing children and descriptions of any suspects. That's your Money Watch. In New York, I'm Alexis Christoforous.
Still to come, your Wednesday morning weather, and in sports, Auburn was all over 12th-ranked Alabama, stealing the ball and jamming their way to a huge upset.
This might be an Alabama turnover.
This is you. You've awakened in the dark because your sleep aid didn't give you a full night of sleep.
And all you can do is lie there and wish you could go back to sleep. Tomorrow, ask your doctor about Lunesta. Non-narcotic Lunesta can help you sleep 7 to 8 peaceful, quiet hours. Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Always talk to your doctor first before taking sleep aids for extended periods. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Tomorrow night, leave the rest to Lunesta.
Wish you could enjoy fish from the grill every day of the week?
Now you can with Gorton's Grilled Fillets, expertly flame grilled and specially seasoned in a variety of mouth-watering flavors.
So, which one will it be tonight?
Trust the Gorton's fisherman.
Because babies communicate through touch, Pampers Sensitive Wipes condition their skin every time you use them. Pampers Sensitive Wipes, because every touch means so much.
Here's a look at the weather in some cities around the country. In New York, mostly sunny, 38. In Miami, rain and 80. In Chicago, mostly sunny and 28. Denver, mostly sunny and 45. LA, sunny and 70. Well, snow is not often seen in West Texas, but El Paso got hit with a snowstorm Tuesday. Several inches accumulated, schools were closed, children were able to spend the day snowboarding and making snowmen. Time now for a check on your national forecast. This morning, satellite picture shows thick clouds covering parts of eastern Texas, along the Gulf Coast into the deep south, where rain showers are happening. Meanwhile, clouds scattered throughout the northeast and parts of the Midwest are hinting at some snow showers. The west, however, looks nice and clear. Later today, it'll be sunny in the west and plains, but rainy in southern Texas, the immediate Gulf Coast, and most of Florida. The Midwest might get light snow showers, and lake effect snow can be expected just southeast of the Great Lakes. In sports, another night of upsets in college ball. The Auburn Tigers scrambled and clawed their way past 12th-ranked Alabama. Frank Tolbert poured in 17 points to help the Tigers wipe out the Crimson Tide 81-57. And a nail-biter in New York City. With fewer than 20 seconds on the clock and the game tied, Larry Wright had the big shot for St. John's. Notre Dame ran the ball instead of taking the timeout and missed the long bomb. The Red Storm takes down the Fighting Irish 71-68. In pro ball, it was game 2 of the great Iverson-Anthony experiment. In the second quarter against Seattle, Allen Iverson scored his 20,000th career point. The Nuggets' other superstar, Carmelo Anthony, finished with 34. Denver tops the Supersonics 117-112. And at the Australian Open, top-seeded Maria Sharapova made it to the semifinals, but she had to struggle against fellow Russian Anna Chokvatadze. She finished with 32 wins and 41 unforced errors. Sharapova in 2 tough sets, 7-6, 7-5. When we come back, another look at this morning's top stories. And Dreamgirls hits a high note in Oscar nominations, but it gets snubbed in a prestigious category.
This is my accounting system. Unpaid invoices on the purple ones. Still evolving.
Our sales figures, they're all right here.
I design my own spreadsheets.
There's an easier way to manage your business. QuickBooks. It's so simple you can be up and running in under 15 minutes. With just a few clicks, you can write checks, send invoices, see who's paid and who hasn't, and make tax time a cinch.
This is so much simpler.
QuickBooks. Better, faster, simpler.
Sam finds brushing boring. My secret weapon? Ha-ha! Listerine Agent Cool Blue. It kills bad breath germs and turns plaque blue, so he can brush more effectively.
Sam, nice work. Listerine Agent Cool Blue for kids. Big kids and little kids with colds need more love, not always